Hello, everyone. I'm Farquharson, and today I'm back with a brand new class. I'm back with Business Studies Cambridge A2. Today we have a new chapter. Yes, and it's quite interesting. We've made it very, very interesting and designed the class in an entirely new way. Yeah, let's wait for our students to join. We have some viewers already. Before I begin, you can like our page on Facebook, Fyruz Education Services. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fyruz Education Services again. You can also send me friend request on Facebook, which is my name, Fyruz Khan, because I also stream all the live classes, in my page as well. I think we should go ahead. We have some viewers. And I'm just waiting for a few more students to join. I'm just checking the internet connection. Okay, there we go. Students are replying. Okay, let me check the internet connection if everything's fine. Let me check the speed. Right, the speed looks good to me. Let me check the speed out here. Okay, everything seems very stable, so I think we should go ahead. Right. So let's go ahead. So what is this? What do you see here? What do you see here? Can anyone tell me? So here, this one is a flag of European Union. I hope you've heard I hope you know what European Union is. And these are the countries that are associated with European Union. Now, often you will see in a news channel, you will see that America has agreed to work with India, Bangladesh has signed an agreement with India, or the classic example is European Union. Now, under European Union, you have 27 countries who signed to work together, they are treated as one country. They're treated as one region. But why is it so? Why will India sign a contract with Bangladesh, a special agreement, business agreement? Why will America sign an agreement with India? Okay, these are the things that you need to ask yourself why. Why do we have European Union in the first place? There are lots of students who doesn't know what European Union is. European Union is a collection of 27 countries in the Europe who's come together to work together. Okay, and we'll see. And there are many countries. There are 27 countries are Germany, France, Poland, Bulgaria, Belgium, Romania, and there are many countries that are there, right? And they have all come together for one common purpose or two common purposes, and we'll see why. Okay, because of business activities, so that they can carry out business activity easily. Now, if Germany wants to sell something to Poland, think about it. If Germany wants to sell to Poland, if they were separate countries, it would be difficult. Yes, there would be separate laws and regulations, separate currency, separate money, right? Separate tax, tariffs, quota. But now, if all these countries are together, are treated as one big market. Now, these are 27 different countries. But if you see them as one whole market, then there are more opportunities available. So they have come together so that it's easy to carry out business activities. The flow of products and services, will be easy. You could sell your products and services easily without any tax or without reduced tax, with less hassle, with less problem, right? Now think about selling your products to some other country. You will see there are so many barriers, there's so many obstructions you will have. But then if you're treated as one big whole market, like the European Union, then most of your problems will be solved. Okay? So there'll be no tax, or there'll be reduced tariff. Okay, whenever you want to sell your product into a different market, tax plays a big role. You have to pay tax that is set by the government. But if you have an agreed objective before, then everything becomes easy. Okay, sometimes countries will not will not let you sell more than, let's say, 500 cars in their country. They will say that your quota is over. You were supposed to sell 500 cars, and that quota, that margin is over. But if you have an agreement with that country, these things will not apply. Okay. Free movement of people. The people of these 27 countries, when they move from one country to the other, if they want to live, if they want to stay, if they want to study, if they want to carry out business activities, they don't require a visa. They don't require a special permission. They can just buy a ticket and go anywhere they like. Okay, it's so convenient. Okay, so in order to take these kind of opportunities, 27 countries have come together. Now let me tell you, after World War One, after World War Two, EU was in a very bad condition. Right, most of the European zone was, damaged and demolished. There was poverty, and there was no money. And in the 1990s, they all agreed to come together to support each other. Such a good objective. So free movement of people, it's one per passport. Their passport, if you go to EU, because I studied in the EU in UK is not a part of EU anymore, but they all have a red passport. Yes, they will have the respective respective name of the country, but then they all have a red passport and it says EU. Okay, so less restrictions. Restrictions are very less. As I told you, you can sell anything, you can go anytime, anywhere, right? And it's very easy to carry out business. It's quite easy to carry out business. Right, and therefore you can explore more opportunities. If you think, let's say, you live in France, you're French, and if you feel that you're not happy with France, or if you feel that you want a change, you can easily move your business. You can move with your family. You can look for a job and go to Germany, go to Poland, or go to Austria. Or let's say you have a very successful business in France, and you can open one branch in Germany and the second branch in Poland. So opportunities are endless. Okay, and this is why we are becoming one globalized world. So today we are going to talk about globalization and international marketing. Okay, so and we are becoming globalized because of many reasons, and we'll talk about it, right? So we are becoming one market, one big market, and that is globalization, global, right? Why do you want globalization? Mainly two reasons, and we've spoken about the two reasons. Less barriers to trade. You don't want taxes. You want reduced taxes. You want more freedom. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, you want less restriction, you want less barrier, you want less obstruction. That's the one thing. Second thing, free movement of people. That's why you want globalization. Just two reasons. Okay, less restriction, less obstruction, less obstacle, less taxes, less quota. Second, free movement of people. You want people to move freely, to look for jobs, to start their company, to move their products and goods easily. And this is why EU was formed. This is why you have different countries like America, India. They have together, right? Business agreements. You will see in the news often. So whenever you see next time that there's an agreement like this, you will understand why. Okay. And till 2007, before the recession, 2008 recession was a big recession. So before that recession, the average growth was 7%, and that was quite good. But after recession of 2008, when people lost jobs because people borrowed money and they couldn't give back, people were fired left and right, they were made redundant. The growth rate from 7% went down to 2.5%. Okay, in 2013. Now, the market has been led by the Indian region, which also includes us, and China. Okay, total exports of China is accounted to 30% of GDP in 2013. So you can see how China and the Indian subcontinent, Indian region has come up after recession, because the recession affected Europe and America mostly. Okay, and yes, we were affected, but not like them. It was indirect. Okay. The market has been led by China and India after the recession, and this is the current scenario. Okay, and China's exports accounted for around 30%. So if you take China's GDP, gross domestic product, their exports accounted to 30% of it. Whatever they made in their country, they exported 30% of it. So they've always focused on exports more than imports. Let's say if they made, let me give you an example. If they made hundreds of these phones, 30 of these phones were exported in the international market. So think about it. Their export rate is so much. Okay. So you may ask me, okay, what is the potential benefit and strategic opportunities? Now, it's a great opportunity to go to other market, to go to different market and sell your product. Okay. For example, let's say you've been selling this phone in this market for 10 years. Let's say the market is saturated. You've been selling this phone for 10 years now, and people are tired of this phone. Everyone has this phone. So, you can decide to go to countries like India, China, Bangladesh, because these are emerging economies. These are developing economies. And there you will see brands like Apple, Google, and Microsoft going to China because their markets have saturated in American Europe, because they have been operating in those markets for 20, 25 years. Everyone owns them. But there's a bigger opportunity in countries like India and China because the population is quite high. Okay, so this is why you want to go to a different market. You also want to go to a different market because when you compete with each other, you become, as a company, you become better. Your products become better. Okay, so yes, it'll make you more international competitive. Okay, it'll help you to create a global brand identity. When you move to a different market, when you move to a separate market, then what will happen is, you become an international brand. You become a global brand. Okay, and you can enjoy different kinds of economies of scale. Okay, you can enjoy marketing economies of scale, you can make more products, enjoy lower cost, and there are lots of other advantages that we will talk about. Okay, so just give me a minute. I will just, okay, I'm Okay, I'm back. There was some problem with the internet, but we're back. It's good. And the other benefit is you have a wider choice of location. You can choose. Okay, I want to go to India because the costs are low in India. I want to go to China because the labor is quite cheap. Now, why does all the big brands in America and Europe they want to come to Bangladesh to make their products, to make their garments, to make T-shirts? Because the labor cost is cheap. Because we have the skills and knowledge, right? So these are some of the potential benefits. And you can also have access to international brands. You can buy them. Like Microsoft, I think, is buying TikTok. Microsoft also bought Nokia, which is a Finnish company. Okay. So you have access to global brands and companies which can be acquired. You can join together. Okay. If I'm not mistaken, for example, Robi Axiata, I think Axiata is a Malaysian company, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, you have more access to global markets, right? And foreign acquisitions. So these are some potential benefits. So you have more opportunity to sell your goods in different countries, in different markets. Okay, if your product is saturated in your current market, you can go to a different market to sell the product. Then you have increased competition. Good, more competition is good. If you have more competition, means you will do well. You will strive to do well. Okay, you will make better products, and you will have different kinds of economies of scale. You will enjoy lower costs because you're producing more. Then you have more opportunities, wider choice of location. You can choose some location because of the labor, because of the skills, or because of their lower cost. Okay, and you have access to global companies. You can merge with them. You can buy them, less restriction. So potential benefits. But however, there are limitations too. So think about the limitations. Okay, uh, so when European Union, for example, if you go back, when European Union has 27 countries working together, and you can move easily, that means you have increased competition. People will be able to move easily. They will be there. More international brands will be coming to your home country, and there'll be more increased competition. And the local markets may fail. Local markets may not do well. Okay. And international competitiveness will force other firms to be more efficient, or they may also force others to go out of the market, to be out of the business, and that's not good. And the third reason is, for example, if let's say if I take FES to America, it is going to be different culturally because it's a Bangladeshi company. So I'm taking my culture to another country. So there may be cultural conflict. There may be differences in taste. Now, for example, have a look at this slide. Okay, so I hope you have seen this logo. This is Burger King. Yes, and most of you know Burger King. Right. Next, we have KFC. And then we have McDonald's, right? Burger King, KFC, McDonald's. Three American fast food chain. Okay, three American fast food chain. Now, when they are in Bangladesh, we don't have McDonald's, we have Burger King and KFC. Now, it's not our food, right? It's not our food. It's burgers, it's fries, it's chicken fry. It's their culture, it's their tradition. Fast food is not our culture. So they are seeping into our culture. And what you will see, what you will observe is, a lot of the younger generation, they have given up eating rice, dal, maj, bhat, and they're more inclined to fast food. So in some ways, we are losing our culture. in some ways we are losing our culture, and there will be a time where the younger generation will not be dependent on dal bhat much. They will go for fries and fast food and sushi, because we have I mean, having international brands is good, but I think it's now too much, right? So this is a fast food, and this is not our food. This is not our culture. You will see on Facebook, everybody is enjoying international cuisines. You will hardly see people posting about our local food, our local tradition, our local culture. So these businesses are harming our culture. They're taking away traditions from us. So that's not right in a way. Okay, because burgers and fries is not our food. It's not our it's not our culture. Our culture is this: mach, bhat, dal, and ilish mach, and pita, bhaba pita. I love Bengali food, and this is our tradition. This is our culture. This has been there for the longest time. Even, I mean, you'll be astonished. Biryani is not our food. Biryani came down from Turkey and Middle Eastern countries. Tandoori chicken, naan is not our food. It's been brought by the Mughals. Yes, and now and it has, yes, uh, biryani, naans, and tandoori chicken. They have, I mean, they have been integrated into our food in a very in a very different way. It's deeply integrated into our culture, but this is the authentic local food that you see. But hardly nowadays people will eat this kind of food because these businesses has taken over. So what I was trying to say, so sometimes you forget that when there's international brands that travel down to your country, they take away a lot of things from you. They take away your culture, they take away your tradition, they take away your taste. Okay, so think about that next time whenever you see these big companies coming over. Okay, so yeah. Right, and of course, and with globalization, the biggest problem is communication. Let's say you have an office in India, you have an office in America. Communication, time differences. So there will be problems with communication. That's there. Managers may not respond to you properly. Okay, so think about that. Sometimes um, you may not be aware of laws and regulations of that country, and you may have to face a lot of problems, a lot of trouble. Okay, so think about that. So these are the limitations and threats that we've talked about. So the first limitation is there'll be more competition in the local market. Okay, each other will be forcing out two companies will be forcing each other out of business. These foreign brands will have an impact in the culture. Okay, because there will be taste differences. People will have different taste, people will have different perception and point of view. Yes, even American movies and Bollywood movies have changed Bangladeshi culture a lot, because that's not our culture. It has altered our culture. Okay, and we've talked about this. Yes, we've talked about our local cuisine. You will have problems with communication, you will have problems with transport, because you're not close to each other. Yes, there will always be a communication gap. Yes. A very good example is, Land Rover and Jaguar. I'm sure most of you have heard about Range Rover, Jaguar cars. It has been taken over by this Indian company called Tata. Tata has a huge influence over, England, because they used to be a same part independence, and there you go. So think about that. Think about that. So there may be a risk that your local companies may be taken over by these huge foreign corporations. And that is happening. That is happening all around the world. Okay. Um, and what less? And these companies cannot also be controlled by the government because they're so powerful, they're so big. Government can't do anything sometimes. Think about Reliance or Tata. What can the government do? They cannot do anything. They're so big and so powerful. So these are some of the potential limitations and threat. The class is going wonderfully. If you have any problems, please do let us know. Put your comments in the comment section, or you can also message us in the group. Okay. So there we go. But there's a question that, okay, why all of a sudden from 90s or from the beginning of 2000, why there is an increase in globalization all of a sudden? Why? What's the answer? Now think about this. In the olden days, people used to walk, to travel from one place to the other. Okay, from if you want to move from point A to point B, walking was your mode of travel. Then after that, you had animal rides. You could take a camel ride, you could take a horse ride, okay, and different kinds of animals, carts, wolves were used, okay. So this is how you moved, and people started doing businesses, and for example, moving spices, moving goods on the back of animals. আগেকার দিনে মানুষরা নিজেরা ধরে নিয়ে যেত, but এখন animals, so it's more easier. Okay, business became more easier, and then you had ships and boats. That's how English people came into our subcontinent, through ships, right? And that's how international trade began. Especially the trade of spices. That's how it began. If you look into British Indian history, that's how they traded. That's how they traded spices, and that's how the British came inside into our subcontinent. Okay, and goods and products started moving freely and easily. Okay, it was much more convenient. But now think about it. You can travel to America in just 24 hours because we have planes. This is why globalization has increased rapidly, because it's possible to move anywhere around the world within a day, within 24 hours. I can go to Bangkok in 2 hours. I can go to America in 18 hours. I can go to UK in 10 to 12 hours. I can send a document. I can send a parcel. I can send my products in less than 24 hours. I'll tell you a story. When I was at university, I needed a very important document from my father. It was a bank statement, because I was, reapplying my visa. I was, extending my visa, and I needed the document in 24 hours. So my father posted the document on Sunday, in Bangladesh in morning time, and I got it the next day morning, UK time, Monday morning, and it was so surprising. So it shows how our communication has developed, and it's very, very good now. Okay, of course, COVID-19 will have an impact, and is having an impact right now. But see how we have traveled. We used to walk and transport our goods and products and services, and then we used animal rides at the back of animals, horses, camels, and then we started using ships. That's how British, Portuguese, they came into our subcontinent and started trading businesses, and now we have planes. Okay. Then there's also this thing called social media. Now I can easily advertise my product and services. Like, you'll be surprised, my classes are seen by people in England and America. It's on Facebook, everybody can see it. Okay, and they have messaged me that we like your classes, can you do this chapter, want to see this chapter. Can you explain this a bit more? So yeah, and through Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, emails, and Safari Messenger, the business world has changed a lot, a lot. Okay, in the olden days, if you've written a letter, it would take 1 month, 7 days, 14 days for the letter to reach its destination. But now I can write an email, press enter, and there you go. Within a minute it'll reach you. Not even a minute, within some seconds. Okay, so the communication has become so better that we are now more connected than ever. We are globally connected. We are now treated as one big, huge market. Okay, you can market your products on Facebook. Everybody can see it. Okay, and it's free. You need to have an account, and you can you can put it out there. You can also boost it using $10, $20. People of different regions will see it. It's become so accessible and so cheap. Okay, you don't need to even travel to have a meeting. You can do a messenger call, a Skype call, a WhatsApp call. So this is why globalization has changed so much, because of transportation and because of communication. Okay, two reasons: transportation and communication. Please write it down. Okay, let's go ahead. So before, selling in foreign markets were very, very risky. Okay, but nowadays, because of communication, because of transport links, because of free international trade, there are immense opportunities, and people are really doing well. People are taking this opportunity because of transportation and communication. So instead of just selling in the local market, you can take opportunities of other growing markets. And this is why you will see foreign brands are trying to enter countries like Bangladesh, Vietnam, China, India, because we're emerging economies. Our living standard is still low. There is a demand of goods and services that are produced in those Western countries. People would like to buy good smartphones. People would like to buy good clothes, branded clothes, yes, of this country, of people of Bangladesh. So there is a demand, and this is why, because of good transport, excellent transport, and because of excellent communication, you will see international marketing happening. Okay, so that said, I think we should stop here. It's 33 minutes. I will take this. I will continue this tomorrow. We have a class tomorrow as well, if I'm not mistaken. It was a great class. If you have any question, please do ask me right now. Okay, and we will take it forward. I can answer any questions you like. You can also put your questions in the group that we have. Do not hesitate to subscribe to our page, like our page on Facebook, Fyruz Education Services. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, Fyruz Education Services, and you can also send me friend request if you want, because all our classes are streamed live on our page and on my personal profile as well. So thank you. I have a class in 15 minutes, so I need to go. Thank you very much. It was a great class, and I will be back again. Thank you.